will tell you a story. Once we were watching a video here, and he said, "Can you do that?" I said, "Oh, I never tried it." So we tried it in my living room, and it worked. Right? Because he was grabbing hard and giving me that energy. Can't play pool with a piece of spaghetti.
So there's certainly a difference between people imitating the external appearance of something, rather than having the engine to be able to do it in their own way.
It might be, like you said, it might be the physical part, but there's no heart to it. And maybe that's not for me to say, but my general feeling is there's no heart to it. If it's not really yours, and then you do it, I think it's okay. I mean, I do some of the soft stuff. I don't pretend to really understand it. It doesn't always work, but I'll get better at it. Right? And it usually always works for Shad, not because he's overkill compliant, because he gives me that right energy. When I tell him to grab, he just grabs. You've probably had the experience where people grab, especially if you're doing the Aikinage from Daito or whatever, Uke grabs, and when you go to move, they reverse it or let it go or try to change it. Then it's not going to work. I mean, you can still probably get them, but that's not the nature of the exercise.
For beginners, it's really difficult. Of course it is, because they can't adapt to those changes, and that's that's no good.
Yeah, Yeah, you grab someone like that, it doesn't work. I mean, there's no threat. That's the whole thing.
Yeah. I know it makes any difference to you, but certainly at a beginner level, that's completely counterproductive, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. So maybe in a nutshell, sometimes what I say is Aikido's for everyone, but everyone's not for Aikido. There's a certain way we train. There's a methodology the way we train, and that demands a little bit of an attitude. Kind of giving attitude. And if you're a selfish bastard, it's pretty hard to do Aikido. And some people, if they get the feeling like if they're thrown, they lose. So they fight. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, first time I went to Ukraine, I went to do Nikajo on a guy, and he fought me the whole way. I got him down, I pinned him and everything, and he was really impressed. And I just thought, you're a twat. But he didn't know any better, because he thought he just wanted to see if I was strong, not realizing he would just do something totally different. But I got him down anyways. But it was a bit of work, and totally unsatisfying. But I'm the guest. I'm not going to yell at him and stuff. But have I ever told you the story about an Aikikai guy at a party? About pushing on the shoulders, that Gozo Shoda? Basically, there was
yes, you have.
Yeah,
Please.
A guy at a party came up to me. Guy at a party said, that thing when you push on the arms, the shoulder goes like that, and people fall down. And I said, yeah. He said, does it work? I said, yes. He said, has he done it to you? And I said, no, but his senior students have done it to me. And the guy said to me, can you do it? And I said, yeah. He said, can you do it to me here? I said, it's a party. But he was a bit irritating. I said, it's a party. And he said, yeah, well, can you? I said, yeah. Okay. So we went to do it. He came in, and he just went to push and stop, and just kind of went like that. and he said it didn't work. And I said, you know why it didn't work? And he said, why? I said, because you pushed like a fucking pussy. And then he got mad. He came back. He came flying at me. I went, boom, and he just went sailing back. And he did Aikikai, and he used Aikido. So he hit the ground, rolled up, and stood up, and said, oh, it works. And I thought, yeah, bastard. The only problem was my wife saw that, and she yelled at me for about 5 minutes. How stupid was I doing Aikido at a party? God damn, was I an idiot? I said, but he asked me when it didn't work.
Yeah, but you got him to attack you properly, though.
Yeah, it worked, Anyone's got a sword to try and cut you. If they just go like that with a sword, it won't cut. You have to move your whole body. Now, I understand some people do the sword taking away this and that, but I think if I had a real sword and I was intent on cutting you, then no one could take it away from me. Sorry. I don't think so.
Yeah.
Right? Or if they did, I'd do a lot of damage before they got it away from me. I think. Again, the truth is, it's kind of only one way to find out. Right? Who's going to be stupid enough to do that?
I didn't know you could carry swords in Canada.
No, you can't exactly. I've been cut by a sword. Let me tell you. I think I've shown you. I've been cut by one. So, but I didn't cry because I'm a martial artist.
Chick stick scars.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. So there's, only one way to find out. And most people, I think, aren't prepared to pay the price, and most people shouldn't. Just like that kind of hard, balls to the wall training all the time. Most people don't want to do that,
Right.
and most people shouldn't because you're going to hurt or whatever. I mean, and the real truth is, as you know, I mean, if you're doing martial arts and you enjoy it and it's enhancing your life and making it easier to get out of bed, go to work, go home, and go to the dojo, we're meant to move. We should be moving our bodies, and if you find something that you enjoy, it makes it easier to do.
Yeah.
You're not going to be as good as someone who's, for example, someone who did the Sensei for 9 months. People go from zero to Olympic, that's what I'm looking for, Olympic caliber in 4 years.
Yeah, Mike Tyson.
Which is apparently why because when they started the Olympics, they were going to do it every year. And they decided to do it in 4 years, so that way someone could see it, be interested, and 4 years later they could go from zero to Olympic quality in 4 years. That doesn't happen in martial arts. And even in Tyson with boxing, they say it takes 10 years to produce a good professional boxer.
I wanted to ask you about Shu-ha-ri.
Yeah. I guess the real truth is Shu-ha-ri. Shu means getting the form. Ha means breaking a form. Ri means no form. You can read that in a book. And I think it's just basically you learn the form and then you make it your own. Then you can do whatever you want with it. And the Japanese, the way they do it has to be so set is 10, 10, 10. So, and I don't know if it has to be that, but I know it's not 2, 2, 2. You know what I mean?
Years, 10, 10, 10.
Yeah, 10 years in Shu, 10 years in Ha, 10 years in Ri. I don't know if it takes 10 years, but it might be, I don't know, 8, 6, 15, something like that. I can't do the math, but I know it's not 2, 2, 2. But if you can't learn the basic form, then you're not gonna be able to expand on that, and then you won't be able to make it move any way you like free. Right? And if you learn that basic form and you train enough, you can move freely with everyone. There are no basics, so there are no rules. But like I said, you can't just say, oh yeah, go to the 10-meter diving board, off you go.
Yeah.
They can't, they can't do that. So if that makes sense. So,
it's immediately made me think of something you said to me a long time ago, like 10 years ago, and you said, some people say, oh, I've been doing this for 30 years, and you say in the back of your mind, oh,
yeah.
Well, you've wasted 29 of them.
I'm gonna say that, but it just, sometimes, you can die stupid. And the problem is if we're not careful, Phil, it's not just Aikido, it's anything, like I said, but there's levels within levels, and it sounds awful, but I've met people, I've been training for 35 years, and I want to say, do you know how many people I know who've been training over 35 years and they're rubbish? They like it, but, I'll show you stuff, and then you see someone like Farshad, the little bastard's only been training 18 years with me. He does things, it took me 25 years to understand he's doing them now. He was doing them 10 years ago. Really pisses me off. I want him to suffer like I did. But that's part of it. I mean, the whole levels within levels. And
did you see the interview I did with Thambu Sensei?
Yes, I did.
You did watch it?
Yep.
All 6 parts?
No, not all 6 parts. I watched a little bit here and there. I know what he's going to say. I know him better than he knows himself.
What can you tell me about Thambu Sensei that isn't already out there in that interview?
Well, he says I helped him a lot. I'm not sure about that. He certainly helped me. All the teaching I do through Europe and the Czech Republic and Poland is all because he had enough lack of ego or security in his own skill to invite me along, the big dopey white guy from Vancouver. What I will tell you is I always thought that he was the finest, nicest person I'd ever met in Yoshinkan Aikido until I met Mick Mercer Sensei up in Preston. Because Mick says, I always restore his faith in Aikido. That man always restores my faith in humanity. I've never met a more kinder, decent man than Mick Mercer Sensei. And if I'm really honest, even though I don't like the little prick, It's probably a two-way tie for first place between Mick Mercer and Joe Thambu. He's decent, he's kind, he's smart, he's articulate, and he's technically very, very skilled. And he's helped me a lot. He says I've helped him, but he's done way more for me. And I'd do anything for him to help him. And technically, and I'm a bit jealous because, I mean, he's better than a lot of other people I've seen who've done long-term training in Japan, this and that. And he's the first to tell you he didn't train that much in Japan. You know, and so when you think about it, he went to Australia when he was 18. He did it right. He tried to do other forms of Aikido, not teach, but he's a Yoshinkan guy. And then he started teaching. He went to Japan a couple of times, and his technique is brilliant. How the hell you get that brilliant if you don't spend all the time with these teachers that some other people have had? Kind of just pisses me off. But I mean, he's, you know, I can't, you don't have to, you need to see his technical stuff. What people don't see is how nice he is and how kind and giving for all his students and everyone who's associated with him. You know, and everyone I've met in his Shudokan group worldwide, everyone has been stellar in terms of their martial etiquette, their martial technique, their martial attitude. It's just a pleasure to be around all of them. I haven't met all of them, but I've met Ramon in Malaysia, Mark in Indonesia, Pavel in Poland, Rafael in Poland. He's not really with Joe, but he shows up all the time. Who else? Where else? Who else? I don't know. Andra Muso Sensei in Czech. All the Czech group, the guys that are all in Czech, they're all spectacular because of him. Right? And he gives them all the energy they need. He gives them all the help they need. It's just, and then when you add the technical expertise, it's just a whole complete package. Bit of a miserable little prick. He's always mean to me and yells at me all the time. But he's one of those guys, if I don't talk to him, you know, once or twice a month, I feel a bit weak. And I adore his counsel. He's been great to me. And he's also telling people that he's not Yoshinkan, and he's not in the Yoshinkan, and blah, blah, blah. You don't get any more Yoshinkan in terms of technique, spirit, etiquette, knowledge. You don't get anyone more Yoshinkan than Joe Thambu Sensei. And I said that here live, in person, and he's going to deny it because he's a little bastard. And he doesn't have any ego. He just does the best he can for martial arts. And brilliant. Yeah.
I'm going to edit that so it sounds like you're talking about me. I'll send it over later on.
But it's true. I mean, I adore the man. I just adore the man. Anything I could do for him, if it was possible, I would do it. The only thing that's sad is there's no support really, I think, and no support in North America where we can have him, or especially in Vancouver. He's been to my dojo twice. And I'd love to have him more often. And he would come and he wouldn't expect anything. And I'd love to have him more because, again, he's a bit like Toby Threadgill. People should be seeing him. Every single Aikido dojo on the planet would do well to see him. I really think that because his knowledge, his skill, his givingness, his kindness. He's a bit of a miserable guy. He won't smile on the mat. Even when I tell jokes, he'll try not to laugh, but I'm pretty funny, so I get him occasionally. But I've been on the mat when he tells jokes and it's really funny, but he never says that. He always just says, I'm serious. And I adore teaching with him. We just mesh, you know. We just mesh. We don't agree, also. We don't agree on some things. And I think that's natural. I mean, he should be. He's made it his own. Yeah. So I made him my own. But I adore teaching with him, and I wish I could do it more.